off to join the IX academic team following after her brothers. She was in her first high school play this year. She plays the violin, and wait till you hear her, and of course has been a standard in our Christmas plays. Behold and feel not. If I forget everything else in my dotage, I will remember, feel not. We have Eleanor Lee.
All right.
Eleanor had a particular fascination with the Belmont yesterday because she is an equestrian par excellence and rides her horses. She plays the cello, and she is in the 10th grade at Wild Lake. And the youth group, as in the morning, has kind of diminished over the years. They've grown up and gone away. But if you look at the back of your bulletin, we still have a lot. Ethan is a lean and mean soccer player, and then Rebecca wrote a lean and mean. His plans this summer, he plans to be supremely lazy this summer. According to his mother, he has a head full of useless and useful sports knowledge and will argue with anyone over sports. We have seen a story for all ages one morning as the kids were introducing themselves. I'm Ethan. I'm Jordan. Become part of us in so many ways, and we welcome Avery. Our 3 high school graduates, Kristen's not with us this a new group this year called Team 3, which is today is about our youth. And at the beginning of a youth group, one of the first things they do is they turn to each other and they talk about together as we do our song.
We'll have a great time. Sounds exciting. He's having his first birthday. Yeah, he's 1 in 3 weeks. Oh, wow.
I can hold it all by myself. Don't forget to wonder.
Don't forget to wonder.
Use a quiet voice.
Use a quiet voice.
Listen.
And listen.
That's close enough.
And share.
Share. Meanwhile, Luscious is going to share a story with us, just like it happens in Team.
Good morning. So this is a little bit different setting than we had at Sunday school. We have a couple more people than we usually have who have just lost their best friend Jesus. He has died, risen, and then ascended into heaven. And they're afraid because their best friend was tortured and killed. What might happen to them? They're gathered in a room all together, and they hear a sound like a strong wind, and if you would help me sense and feel and make that sound of and the wind is coming from the inside. It's not from the and after it stops, there's a fire that comes. And it's a very bizarre and strange fire. It's not scary, but it almost looks like everybody's head has a flame on it. But nobody's matter because they're all experiencing this together. So they go outside onto the street, and suddenly the sadness and the pain from the last few weeks has disappeared, and they're just rejoicing, and people are coming from all over the world, and they're all speaking in different languages, but at least one person can understand the other person, so it's okay. And they're just really excited, and this is when the Holy Spirit has come. one, but I see Ken has representing the flame on his wonder question. I wonder which part of the story had
You can see all the names of the kids who have been a part of that program downstairs, on the back of the program. Okay, so let's talk for a minute about Pentecost. We talked about the
Okay, so I said be determined, because whenever you fall off the horse, you have to get right back on and try again.
So mine is, when you're not sure what to do, take a step back and check in with yourself. In the heat of the moment, you may not always be right, so you should look at the big picture to make the best decision.
It said, don't always try to find loopholes because you might not always get the full reward for your efforts.
I said, don't do things that make you unhappy. And this may sound obvious, but it's not always. It also means that if being friends with someone is hurting you, don't keep putting in the effort of being friends with them. Try to put yourself in the position for the most happiness possible.
Popular kids might not be who you think they are. If being popular is being about being mean to other people, don't be surprised when they are mean to you too.
Wisdom, and this is only a small portion of what they came up with. And I don't know why, I'm always surprised.
So I'm going to Carleton College in Northfield, Minnesota next year. And then my piece of wisdom is there's a chance that you could be wrong. This is something it's always good to think about, in my opinion, and it's not something I always do. But it helps to finish some arguments before you start them. If you kind of think before you wait, I'm wrong. You always include that as a possibility. It'll lead to a better life, in my opinion. So I'm going to Yale University this fall, and I've got two pieces of this. So my first one is kind of directed towards those who are entering high school, and it's give 90% of the effort 100% of the time. You don't need to give all, just need to give a bit close to all. And then my second piece of advice is know what's going around the world outside of you. Don't just be like, there, going around the world outside you, but like, know, what's happening.
And he said, when I was young and irresponsible, I was young and irresponsible. And that put to rest.
action to drive. No.
What I'm saying is we have to learn to forgive ourselves.
To let it draw you into the spirit of prayer. And then after that, Ethan will introduce the Candles of Concern time, and a question that may be on all of your minds now, at that point, will be answered.
We try to set something on fire every time we meet. Sometimes we light a fire in the fireplace and then write something we are concerned about, and sometimes we just pretend to light candles. Whatever we do, this time at the end of our evening is a chance for us to quiet down and focus our thoughts on the people we know who are hurting and the situations in the world where there is war or some other problem. Our fire time
Let's stand for this one.
Mm-hmm.